talking. We've got a 1978 IROC Camaro, which was one of the 3 generations of Chevrolet Camaros that fielded cars for this IROC series. You'll see that car pacing the field. It's being driven by the president of General Motors, Mark Royce. And in the Freedom 250 Grand Prix, red, white, and blue stars and stripes IROC car. This one brought in as the spare, in case one was needed. There's Al Unser Jr. behind the wheel of that IROC Freedom 250 Grand Prix car. Al Unser Jr., one of the all-time greats in IROC competition. And great to see him here today with a bunch of his mates that he raced against over the years.
Yeah, no slouch. He wouldn't be surprised if you allowed little Al, he'd just go out there and do a little running with these guys and make it 9 cars in the International Race of Champions. Great to see Al behind the wheel of that car.
In fact, another special person down there on the grid, gentleman in the white shirt just walking away from Al Unser Jr., that's Jay Signori. Is the man who ran this IROC operation for all of those years. And people like Ray Evernham, one of the principals now of the IROC series, credit Jay with teaching them so much about how to go racing the right way. And good to see Jay here with IROC today at Washington, D.C. So getting them buckled in and ready to go. Again, a 20-minute timed race. The field then will be inverted for the second race that'll start at 4 o'clock, and we'll add an average finishing position up between the 2 rounds, and that's going to be declared the champion of the day in our exhibition race today here at the Freedom 250 Grand Prix. These are historic race cars. Again, none of them are newer than 2007. They're all built for IROC competition, and a number of them are privately owned. A few of them are owned by the drivers actually wheeling them today. And these cars carry great value, not only financially, but sentimentally to people who so treasure the IROC competition we got to watch over the years. Series formed in 1973 to put drivers from different disciplines of racing in equally prepared cars and let them answer the question, who's the best driver? IROC ran from October 27th, 1973, the first race at Riverside Raceway in Southern California, where they raced Porsches that year, all the way up for a number of years through 2006. NASCAR, INDYCAR, sports cars, even some Formula One drivers would jump into these IROC machines, and they raced 4 times a year against each other to determine that question, who's the best driver?
Oriel Servia is somewhat excited. He has the pace car in tow as well, so he'll lead Mark Royce around along with little Al Unser Jr. So Oriel Servia will bring that field around as we start to clear the grid, getting set to go racing. International Race of Champions, race number 1. So fascinating and so lucky to have little Al with us. There he is, 2-time Indianapolis 500 champion. And of course, a very busy week for this International Race of Champions crew coming from Monterey, California, racing at Laguna Seca. Ray Evernham and the gang bringing the cars to be put on display and race for us this race weekend here on the streets of D.C., all part of our Freedom 250 Grand Prix weekend.
Everybody buckled in. All those raised hands, crew members signifying their driver is ready to compete. And the command, drivers, start your engines. It's time for IROC to go racing here at the Freedom 250 Grand Prix. And so the field will begin to roll from the pit lane.
All 8 cars away.
That's fun. So they're going to make 2 parade and 1 pace laps before the green flag will wave on the start of this. Distance of the race is 10 laps over our 1.7 mile course. Here's a look at our onboard camera with Jeff Gordon. He's actually doing live commentary from that car for Fox Sports and their telecast of this event right now.
You can see he's smiling underneath that helmet, describing what he's seeing as they enter the back portion of this course. The left-hander of turn number 3, now the right-hander of turn number 4. The field of 8 not only classic IROC cars, but legendary race car drivers, all Hall of Famers in their own right. A couple of practice sessions today, and we will see who would win race number 1 and then invert the field and do it all over again. Such a great opportunity for race fans to see the legends of not only NASCAR, open wheel racing, sports car racing. They're all here and part of this great Freedom 250 Grand Prix weekend.
And a chance for these fans to give them a wave as they come through. As they pass through turn number 7 now and head down the finishing stretch of 3rd Street Southwest, past the Capitol Suites and our nation's capital. There's that 1978 IROC Camaro being driven by the president of General Motors, Mark Royce, pacing the field. General Motors, a longtime supporter of IROC. They raced 3 generations of Camaros and a long generation of Pontiac Firebirds as part of the field of machinery to run the International Race of Champions over the years. Al Unser Jr. in the second, the spare car, the Stars and Stripes Freedom 250 Grand Prix machine, and then the 8 drivers lined up and ready to go. So 1 parade lap down and another 2 pace laps to go before this green flag will wave. Part of what makes this so much fun is seeing these great race drivers that are, some would argue, some of the most popular in the sport's history over the period of time when they were top competitors. Back out, mingling with each other, mingling with the fans, and really rekindling some memories of their own as they raced behind the wheel of these cars over the years. One of the things that the IROC Series was to a lot of people, an example, when you were at Daytona, all the INDYCAR drivers would come in to race with you. And, you know, if you were of this age, if you were a Bill Elliott, you never got to race against an Helio Castroneves or even meet him until IROC matched you up. And a lot of friendships were formed out of those 4 races a year, and a lot of camaraderie built over the years, and a great respect for what the other's discipline of racing meant and required, and what the accomplishments of those IROC rivals meant in their form of racing.
All in all, I think race car drivers, fans of any discipline of racing, and to be able to race alongside of not only get an opportunity to meet, but to race alongside of them, to your point, is truly quite an honor. And to have a driver like Rusty Wallace hopping back into the cockpit of the car, Bill Elliott racing out there today. This is truly a very special moment, having some of the finest in open wheel racing, not only with Helio Castroneves, but Tony Kanaan, Tommy Kendall, with all those championships he won in Trans Am and his Hall of Fame career, and then the legends of NASCAR with not only Bobby Labonte, Bill Elliott, Jeff Gordon, Bill Elliott, or I should say Rusty Wallace racing there. Just truly fun. And Kurt Busch and the Purple People Eater. This is one of the most fantastic fields you will see in an IROC racing event, and some of the most historic names in all of racing getting set to go racing here on the streets of D.C.
So again, the colors on these cars, the solid nose colors are NASCAR drivers. The cars with the two-tone noses on them are the INDYCAR or sports car drivers. It's Bobby Labonte in that black and red, number 18 on pole position. Bill Elliott in the red, number 9, is starting second. Then you've got Tommy Kendall and Helio Castro and Tony Kanaan in the second row. Kendall in the orange and white Pontiac, Kanaan in the white and blue Pontiac. Then it's Kurt Busch and Castroneves in the third row. Busch in the purple car that he calls the Purple People Eater. Castroneves in the white and orange number 03. And the final row is made up of Jeff Gordon in the silver Firebird and Rusty Wallace in the Evans orange Pontiac Firebird IROC machine. So here they come now down Independence Avenue Southwest. Turn number 6 and now turn number 7. They'll make the turn off Maryland Avenue onto 3rd Street Southwest and come to the Stars and Stripes, signifying the start-finish line of our Freedom 250 Grand Prix course. IROC racing in the streets of the nation's capital. The green flag is out.
Bill Elliott with a nice start on the outside. He'll get alongside Bobby Labonte, take over the lead. And Tony Kanaan tucked up underneath that rear deck lid of Bill Elliott. They'll race down Pennsylvania Avenue. Looks like Tony Kanaan falling to the back of the field. Bobby Labonte runs second. Bill Elliott, your leader, into turn number 2.
Here's the braking zone at the end of Pennsylvania Avenue. Side by side for second. Not anymore. Labonte hangs on to second as Elliott legs away a little bit. It's Castro Neves outside, Kendall inside. Little contact there. Didn't take the boys long to wrinkle a little sheet metal. And you're looking at Jeff Gordon's view from toward the back of the grid. Gordon running 7th, Rusty Wallace 8th.
Bill Elliott with a nice advantage, 4 car lengths over Bobby Labonte, the pole sitter. Elio Castro Neves in 3rd. Kanaan and Kendall 4th and 5th, with Kurt Busch running in that 6th position. Gordon getting around Rusty Wallace running 7th. Rusty picking up the tail end of that field, but Bill Elliott with a nice advantage first time through turn 7.
Here they come through the final couple of corners. And accelerating off onto 3rd Street Southwest across the finish line. It is Elliott leading lap 1. The braking zone into turn 1. Jeff Gordon makes a move toward the back of the field as he picks up a spot around Tommy Kendall. And Kurt Busch just ahead of Gordon. We figured Busch and Gordon in the purple and silver cars would be the two to put on a show. They got a little ground to make up to catch Bill Elliott, though, out the front of this field.
Elio Castro Neves alongside Bobby Labonte, the left-hander of turn number 2. They go side by side. Castro Neves will have the advantage in the left-hander of turn number 3. Move Castro Neves to that 2nd position. Now Castro Neves needs to close in on that rear deck lid of Bill Elliott. Still about a 10 car length advantage for Bill Elliott as they head down to turn number 5.
Here they come, making their way up onto 7th Street, and now the braking zone. Kanaan looking to the inside of Labonte for a spot in turn number 5. Tony Kanaan will move forward 1 as Jeff Gordon tries to follow him through as they make the run down Independence Avenue to turn number 6.
So Bill Elliott, your leader, exiting turn number 7. Good advantage over Elio Castro Neves. Then Tony Kanaan, Jeff Gordon, Bobby Labonte, Kurt Busch routing out the field. Tommy Kendall and Rusty Wallace as we have a battle. Kurt Busch trying to get around Bobby Labonte into turn number 1.
Kurt trying to make his way forward from his 5th starting spot. He lost a little bit of ground on the initial start, but he gets himself back up into the top 5 as Castro Neves begins to reel in Bill Elliott a little bit for that overall race lead.
Nice battle shaping up for that 3rd position. Tony Kanaan has it. Jeff Gordon would like to take it away. Gordon, starting in that last row, has now closed it down to about a car length deficit over 3rd place running Tony Kanaan. So there's Jeff Gordon dogging the inside, outside through that right-hander, setting up for turn number 5 and that nice run down there on that super wide straightaway.
Gordon with a look on Tony Kanaan into the braking zone. Here comes Jeff. Going to make a move up to the 3rd position. So Gordon, after starting 7th, is moved up to 3rd. And we're only working the 3rd of 10 laps in the race. Elliott, Castro Neves, Gordon, Kanaan, Busch. It'll be Kurt Busch trying to make the move on Kanaan as they head for turn 1's braking zone. The purple people leader going to gobble another spot? No, not quite.
That's a battle for that 4th position. Kanaan gets a good run out of turn number 1. Kurt Busch falls back in a line. Now we'll take a peek to the inside. At the entrance to turn number 2, Kurt Busch and Tony Kanaan side by side as they battle through turn number 2.
And Kurt's going to get that spot into the corner. So Kurt Busch up into the top 4 now as he's bypassed Tony Kanaan. Here's Castroneves right up on the back bumper of Bill Elliott as they exit turn number 4 and make the run down 7th Street Northwest. Big wide boulevard to the tight braking zone here. Elliott, Castroneves, and Gordon.
Bill Elliott very nervous about that first session, trying to learn this track, but doing a fantastic job as he has led every lap thus far. Helio Castroneves running in that second position. And don't look now, here comes Jeff Gordon trying to take over second from Helio Castroneves.
Castroneves with the run out of turn number 7 and a look to the inside across the finish line. Not enough room to make that challenge into the corner. He'll drop back and give it a run off of turn number 1 onto Pennsylvania Avenue.
Bill Elliott stays to driver's right now. Helio Castroneves will pop to the inside. It's a race down into turn number 2 down Pennsylvania Avenue. Helio Castroneves taking over the lead. Jeff Gordon thought about taking second from Bill Elliott, but will tuck back into line. Going to get a very nice run out of turn number 2.
This might be a shuffle here for Elliott as both Gordon and Kurt Busch look to the inside, and they'll both move up a spot. So it's Castroneves, Gordon, and Busch. Top 3 now, working their way around the course and charging up toward turn number 5. Gordon looking to the inside of Castroneves. Here's Jeff Gordon for the race lead. Got the inside line through the corner, but Castroneves hangs tough on the outside over the bumps. A little squeeze for real estate on the backstretch. And Castroneves is going to hang on.
Castroneves with a great job out of turn number 5, holding off Jeff Gordon into turn number 6. Gordon all over that bumper with Kurt Busch right behind him. 1, 2, and 3. Throw a blanket over him. Castroneves, Gordon, Busch, Elliott, Kanaan, Wallace, Labonte, and Tommy Kendall. That's how they run.
So the 4-time Indianapolis 500 winner, Helio Castroneves, is out in front of the first of our 2 IROC races. We've completed 5 of the 10 laps. But the 4-time NASCAR Cup Series champion, Jeff Gordon, is right there with him.
Castroneves with a good run down Pennsylvania, able to gap himself about car length and a half over Jeff Gordon. Kurt Busch hangs tight with him. Bill Elliott still in that 4th position. Been impressed with Bill Elliott, hopping into that car, learning a street circuit, admitted, "This is not my forte," said Bill Elliott, but doing a fantastic job. And here's Jeff Gordon taking a look for the lead.
Castroneves will have to give him room. And Kurt Busch looking to see if he can make it a 3-wide show. Gordon goes to the front. Castroneves looks for the crossover. Instead, he'll slide back in line to prevent Kurt Busch from getting a run on him. Off of turn number 7. Down to complete 6 or 10 laps, and it is Jeff Gordon, the new leader. Here's Kurt Busch with a peek to Castroneves inside for second.
Castroneves with a good run out of turn number 1. Draws close to Jeff Gordon. Kurt Busch right there. Any mistake, we'll see a cost for position as we see a replay. There's the pass for the lead. Jeff Gordon right there with Helio Castroneves. This is where he gets alongside. As we follow along live up top, Jeff Gordon, Helio Castroneves, Kurt Busch looking to take over that second position one more time.
Have a car nosed into the barrier in turn number 2. That's Tommy Kendall. Went for the braking move on Bobby Labonte into the corner and didn't make the corner. He has continued away, and we stay under the green flag. Well, Castroneves staying right with Jeff Gordon and not allowing Kurt Busch by. You'll see green flags waving atop the starter stand. That's a 3 to go signal to the drivers that, hey, time is running out. If you're going to get racing, better get racing.
And it looks like Helio Castroneves received that message loud and clear, looking to the right, now to the left of Jeff Gordon. Making their way down into turn number 2, down that long stretch of Pennsylvania Avenue. Jeff Gordon with a half a car length advantage over Helio Castroneves. Kurt Busch right there in third.
The run up 9th Street Northwest, now onto Constitution Avenue, around the National Archives building, and off onto 7th Street Northwest. Castroneves hanging right with Gordon. Kurt Busch has fallen a couple of car lengths back. Look at all the people gathered trackside, watching these champion drivers in these historic cars at a historic venue, and the first ever Freedom 250 Grand Prix.
Two of the finest drivers ever. One in open wheel racing, the other in NASCAR. Jeff Gordon, Helio Castroneves with Kurt Busch in tow. Gordon that time about a car length advantage. Kurt Busch will look to the inside of Helio Castroneves. He'll try to make that pass into turn number 1.
He's going to have the inside spot there, so Kurt Busch will go to 2nd spot. It'll be Gordon, Busch, Castroneves. And they'll be coming back around to see the white flag.
Well, the purple people eater of Kurt Busch gobbled up Helio Castroneves down the front straightaway and made that pass into turn number 1. That will allow Jeff Gordon to pull away by 6 car lengths. Once again, white flag coming out this time. Jeff Gordon with an advantage over Kurt Busch. Helio Castroneves only 2 car lengths behind Kurt Busch for that 2nd position.
Got a car in the runoff in turn number 2. That's Tony Kanaan, who has overshot the 2nd corner. Replay here coming. The white and blue car. You see the braking there as that's fishtailing every which way on TK. Got it stopped. No harm. And he has continued on away and will stay under the full green flag. So here's Gordon off of turn number 7 with Kurt Busch and Helio Castroneves pursuing. The white flag is waving, and we have 1 lap to go.
Jeff Gordon with live commentary on Fox. What a soundtrack that must be as he leads the field down Pennsylvania Avenue for the final time. Kurt Busch in that 2nd position. Helio Castroneves in 3rd, and Helio not done just yet. Looks to the inside of Kurt Busch. Will think better of it. Tuck underneath that bumper and rear deck lid of Kurt Busch as they all make their way through turn number 2 and set up for turn number 3, the right-hander of turn number 4 for the final time.
So there they are around onto Constitution Avenue, and now the right-hander onto 7th Street Northwest. 1, 2, and 3. Silver is Gordon. Purple is Busch. White and orange is Castroneves on the last lap.
Castroneves,
Yep.
He'll make a look. Nearly got into the left rear of Kurt Busch. If he wants to make a move, needs to do it soon. But Jeff Gordon with a commanding lead through the final couple of corners here in the IROC Race of Champions number 1.
Jeff Gordon ran 6 seasons of IROC. He won 1 time. Here he is off turn number 7. Kurt Busch tries to make a run to the inside. It's not going to be enough. Jeff Gordon wins IROC race number 1 and the nation's capital before the Freedom 250 Grand Prix. Tony Kanaan in a runoff area, but it was Gordon, Busch, Castroneves, your top 3.
Bill Elliott will finish in that 4th position after starting on the pole. Rusty Wallace comes home 5th. Should say Bobby Labonte was on the pole. He will come home 6th. Elliott was on the outside of row number 1. Tommy Kendall, who had that off, will finish in that 7th position. And Kanaan with a couple of offs will finish in the 8th position. As we invert that field, Kanaan will find himself back up front. But you can see the joy in Jeff Gordon's face as he did a heck of a job coming from the last row and winning the International Race of Champions, race number 1.
So Jeff Gordon's driving a 1996 IROC Pontiac Firebird owned by Rick Hendrick. This was the car that Jeff drove to victory in 1998 at Daytona International Speedway. That was his 1 IROC win before today. He and that car reunited, and they will take the first of our 2 events here today as part of the Freedom 250 Grand Prix. And how about all these champion drivers in these historic cars putting on a show for us?
Helio giving Jeff a little bump. Nice job.
Well, look at our unofficial results of IROC race round 1 today at the nation's capital. Jeff Gordon with the win over Kurt Busch and Helio Castroneves. with Bill Elliott, Rusty Wallace, Bobby Labonte, Tommy Kendall, and Tony Kanaan, rounding out the 8 champion drivers as part of our field. I see some applause and some hat waves and so on as these drivers go through. Here they are. We'll be able to hear from Jeff Gordon and some of the other drivers momentarily when they get back to pit road. That's Rusty Wallace's car that's throwing up a little bit of smoke. Hope that doesn't prevent him from being part of our second race. I'm sure the IROC boys will jump right on it here in a minute.
Jeff Gordon up 6 positions to take the win in race number 1. Busch, Castroneves, Wallace all improved 3 positions. And you see Tommy Kendall back on pit lane, and the rest of our 8 IROC racing machines with those Hall of Fame drivers as we get a beautiful shot of our nation's capital. Been set to talk to the competitors here in the IROC series. In the race number 1, you see Jeff Gordon victorious, coming from the 7th starting position to win this first race of 2. Seeing his hero race today must be quite a thing. Great to see Rusty Wallace back in this IROC race number 1. We'll see Rusty again in race number 2.
Well, wait to hear from our race winner and maybe some of the other top finishers here in just a minute. And again, they'll all be back out there at 4 o'clock, followed by NTT INDYCAR Series qualifications to set the starting order for the Freedom 250 Grand Prix here on Sunday. What a day it's been so far. Look at all of you out there. Yeah, hope you're having a good time. So glad you're here.
Jump too far ahead of ourselves, but while we have a moment, we'll share with you our schedule for tomorrow, race day for the Freedom 250 Grand Prix. Gates open bright and early at 8 a.m. and then we will roll right into the NTT INDYCAR Series warm-up session. That gets underway at 9:15 tomorrow morning.
Driver introductions at 11:40, and then the green flag on the Freedom 250 Grand Prix for the NTT INDYCAR Series through these beautiful streets of our nation's capital starts at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. If you have tickets, invite and advise you to get here early. Make sure you check out some of the security information on the Freedom 250 Grand Prix website. Know before you go, and make your day a little bit smoother by knowing which gate to go to and where you're headed and what you can and can't bring onto the grounds for the race tomorrow.
Certainly find yourself a great position to view our pre-race ceremonies. We have an amazing show for you tomorrow.
Check that out. All right, down to the pit lane, and Lindsay Zarniak.
Jeff is talking to the boss, guys. So Jeff Gordon, the winner of the first IROC race here in the nation's capital. We're going to let him finish his phone call. He was just standing by, coming out of his race car with Elio Castroneves. He said he just isn't going to get the smile off his face anytime soon. Here he's getting off the phone. One sec. All right, Jeff and Max Pappas. This is just like hugs and smiles everywhere. Tell me what was that like?
Lots of old friends.
Old friends, yes. Coming over.
Well, that felt good. Thank you, Max.
That's what old friends are for. Tell me, I mean, you started 7th, right? What was this like?
Yeah, I mean, I could tell guys were pacing themselves at the beginning, and I was pacing myself, and I got an opportunity to get to the inside of Kurt, and I was like, I know he's going to be really tough. I've raced with him in these cars before. But then I saw Elio just making one pass after another, and I'm like, wait a minute, we can't let him get too far away. So, I think all of us picked up the pace a little bit to try to run him down, and it was great fun, great race, and I'm just having a blast being out here.
For you guys to be back out here and be together and competitors once again, does it come right back? What is that part of it like?
Well, I mean, this car is very natural to me, right? I've driven cars like this. They're very similar to, say, like an O'Reilly car or the older Cup cars that I race. So I'm very familiar with it. It's probably a little bit more, of a learning curve for guys like Elio and Tommy. Tommy's driven Cup cars and maybe Kanan, but the track is just, this track is tricky. I mean, it's awesome to be on a street course, my first time ever on a street course, but to just have to learn the different nuances of where the bumps are, or where you can go into the braking zones, how to get the downshifts done smoothly, and I'm learning from all these guys. But more importantly, I'm just having a blast being out there with heroes of mine and legends in racing.
That is the most important. I love that, your first ever road course. Look at that. All right, Jeff Gordon, congrats. DJ, send it down to you.
We've got 3rd place, Elio Castroneves. No stranger to anything in the NTT IndyCar series. But Elio, I saw you come out of the car and give a big hoot and a holler. How much fun was that?
This is a blast, let me tell you. I mean, racing with those guys, they are like absolutely amazing. Kurt and Jeff, I mean, all the rest of it. But in the end, we're just getting so tight together with those guys. I had a little moment that I could try past Kurt, but I thought about, okay, we have a second race. I got to take care of this car. But I'm going to talk to my team owner to see if I can put a little scratch and be a little more aggressive. But in the end of the day, look, this is just so incredible. To race with the legends and learn still from them, it's just mind-blowing. I wish we would have this series more often so that we can not only race but watch, because it's a lot of fun.
Your smile is always infectious. Your excitement about this is infectious as well. Elio, we can't wait to see what you can do in race 2. AC, over to you.
Okay, 2nd place. This guy right here, Kurt Busch, 2nd place here today. Take us through it, man. How cool has it been out here?
This experience to drive down Pennsylvania Avenue at 150 miles an hour, and the privilege to be out here, it makes you feel like a kid, especially watching the IROC group. When I got my first invite in 2003 to race with the legends I watched on TV, it was like a kid in a candy store, and that's what this feels like again. But man, we're running hard. The brakes were getting soft. It's going to be another tough 10 laps.
I know, and it was entertaining, man. The fans, they love seeing you guys out there. How challenging was it, though, out there?
The sound of our cars, right? And then the street course, I have limited experience on street courses, so you gotta keep track of all the numbers on the braking zones and the turn-in points. You're busy on a street course, so tons of fun. I'm glad the fans were enjoying it. Now it's a full invert, so Jeff and I start in the back, so here we go.
Here we go indeed. Thank you so much, Kurt.
Great to hear from our top 3 finishers of our IROC Round 1 today here at the nation's capital. They're going to invert the field, line up and go again, starting at the top of the hour. Of course, this IROC is a revival of the series that ran starting in 1973. What's the future look like for the International Race of Champions? Let's think about it.
To the fans, if you like motor racing, if you're really a fan of motor racing, come and look at the IROC cars, and the list of drivers that have driven some of them, incredible. When you're talking about, you've got cars that have been driven by 25, 30 of the most incredible and famous cars in the world. We have cars driven by James Hunt, Jody Scheckter, Brian Redman, and David Pearson, Richard Petty, Dale Earnhardt, same car. So you're not saying, okay, he runs on this tire, she runs on this downforce. There's no penalties. All the cars are prepared by us. It's purely driver against driver. It's purely about talent, and then tell the story of those personalities, focusing on the all-stars, superstars, on tracks, and with equipment that didn't favor anybody. Can you imagine in this day and age, in some kind of a neutral car on different tracks, if you could see Lewis Hamilton race Kyle Larson? All of those different personalities, you could see why certain guys were champions. And then, you know, you'd have people that come in that, like Hurley Haywood, you know, multi-Le Mans winner, these guys that were huge endurance race-winning people that had to change their style. We're a 100-mile sprint, and they're in there, and they, you know, instead of saving their stuff and everything, they got to go out there and knock the hell out of people, or, you know, or the first time, you know, Earnhardt or Petty or Yarborough knock them sideways, and they'd be like, what is that? That was a foul. No, there are no fouls here. You know, they go hit them back. You know, it was really, really interesting to hear those conversations and how much respect those drivers had for one another.
Certainly hats off to Ray Evernham and his passion for this International Race of Champions. We thank he and all of our Hall of Fame drivers. Race number 1 of the books, except for race number 2. Top of the hour, 4 o'clock this afternoon.
Well, while we have a slight break in the action, hope you take advantage of, well, there's no break in the action down there, but hope you take advantage of the opportunity to stay hydrated, maybe find yourself a commemorative photo spot, a snack, perhaps one of the items from the merch stands, because this is going to be a place to remember, an event to remember that you were at for a long, long time. Back down to the pit lane and Lindsay.
Thanks, Alan. I'm standing by with the man himself, Ray Evernham. What has this been like for you? How exciting is it to have this series back?
It's amazing, you know, not just to bring the series back on this level, but to bring it here in Washington, D.C. in front of a crowd like this. You know, hats off to Penske and Bud Denker and all the people. It's really a great feeling because these are American racing legends. You know, even Tony Kanaan and Elio, they made their names here in America and racing, and to have them back out on the track in original cars. They're running a little bit harder than I thought they were going to run.
Really?
Oh my goodness, yeah. These guys are still competitive, I'll tell you that. But it's an amazing feeling, and we are so honored to be here in Washington, D.C. in front of this crowd. It just is amazing.
What is something that you did not expect that you have observed or experienced so far this weekend?
You know, I can't tell you that what we were expecting out of these drivers were the same, because the trash talking started last week, right? So there's a group text that it's.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. It's pretty amazing. But you know, I can't imagine. I can't believe how fast they've got this facility done and how beautiful it is. And I can tell you, just to be able to get the pictures with the cars lined up by the Capitol, I really wasn't expecting the emotional experience of being here.
Really? Yeah, and you know, you talk about the group text and all the fun that's had, but also just the amount of joy, to be honest, that you're bringing not only the fans, but these drivers. Where does that sit with you?
It really, you know, again, I look at it like if you were a baseball or a football fan and you grew up watching these legends and you could go watch them play, well, these guys are not only playing, they're playing hard. They're racing cars, and they're racing cars that they raced 30 years ago. So we have to work pretty hard to keep the cars together and keep them you know, from breaking down on them. We're working hard to get them a little bit better matched, and of course some of our good road racers are still pretty good road racers. But, you know, for seeing a father bring in a son, and he said, I was his age when I watched you and Jeff race. I was his age when I watched Rusty or the INDYCAR guys. That's the part that's really amazing me over in the paddock.
I love it. All right, Ray, congrats. We're going to let you go get ready for race 2. Thank you.
Ray Evernham, a NASCAR Hall of Famer and one of the principals, along with Rob Kaufman, in the revival of IROC in this current form. I've got them all.
Yep. Sometimes when you're playing Connect 4, you just need to get robot arms.
That's fun. All right, so we got about 20 minutes or so before the start of the second of the IROC races of the day. And at the very end of that race, we saw some smoke trailing from the car Rusty Wallace was driving, and that's probably not a good sign for us as it's towed away. DJ Clark, what's up?
They are still waiting to give me an exact statement, guys. I will have something here for you shortly on exactly what happened to Rusty Wallace's machine.
Well, the good thing is we have a backup car just in case something like this happens. So definitely not a good finish for Rusty Wallace's number 2 IROC racing machine.
All right, so we'll get an update and see if Rusty's going to be in the spare car or what's going to go on here as the Chuckle Fest continues down on the pit lane.
The Brazilian contingent with Tony Kanaan, Elio Castro Neves, Lita Santos, who has been with Tony forever, Scott Harner, part of that Arrow McLaren contingent, Max Pappas there, former IROC racer as well. Everybody enjoying their time on pit lane as we prepare ourselves for race number 2 in our International Race of Champions here on our nation's capital.
Look at that scene.
Wow. Doesn't get much better than that.
I'm just looking at the people.
Yeah.
The people out on the stripe zone, the people out on the star zone. Really appreciate you sharing your photos with us as we go throughout the day. Now, here we go again with the opportunity for you to put yourself live on the big screens. Take out your device, scan the QR code, and you will put yourself live on the video boards. Professional advice, hold the phone steady when you go on the air. It's better for all of us.
We know it's exciting.
What are you doing? What are you up to today?
Scan that QR code now. You'll be live on our video boards. Love to see what you're doing and what you're seeing here on the streets of DC. All part of our Freedom 250 Grand Prix weekend. There you are.
leak on the car, and they frankly just decided to roll the car away out of an abundance of precaution, and they are going to put Rusty in the Stars and Stripes. There he is, in it, ready to go. There, he's giving us a big thumbs up, so he's going to be back out and ready to race in this next race, just as quick as you please. Rusty, if we can actually come up and talk to you. Different car, different way to do it, but how fun was that first race for you?
That was a lot of fun, it really was. The car was a real good car. I made it up to 5th position, and we just had one real freak thing happen. The doggone valve cover studs that hold the valve covers on the engine broke on both sides, and both valve covers, they didn't completely fall off, but they got so loose it was leaking oil bad. So enough so that they couldn't fix it. We had to go to a backup.
Well, I got to say, if you're going to be in a backup, it might as well be the Stars and Stripes here in Washington, D.C., no?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, really am. Is my helmet up there?
Yeah, it is. It's right up there.
Stars in that baby, huh? It matches the car.
Well, it's perfect. It's a match made in heaven. We'll make sure to get it. Rusty, we wish you luck. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, DJ. Always great to see Rusty Wallace, and especially in the cockpit of a racing machine. So there he is in the backup car. He will start race number 2 in that. So let's take a look at our starting lineup for race number 2 in the International Race of Champions. Tony Kanaan will start on the pole. Tommy Kendall alongside in row number 1. Then it's Bobby Labonte, the pole sitter for race number 1. Starting on the inside of row number 2, Rusty Wallace alongside in that backup car in row number 3, Bill Elliott and Elio Castroneves. And in row number 4, it's Kurt Busch, and race winner of the IROC race number 1 here on the streets of DC, Jeff Gordon will start shotgun on the field. Well, Tony Kanaan will bring the field down for race number 2. Of course, the Indianapolis 500 champion back in 2013 and the INDYCAR champion of 2004. We'll take a look back at the storied career of the Brazilian. Here's a look at Tony Kanaan. Race fans, here's PK Tony Kanaan.
Around to take the checkered flag for the 13th time in his career. Tony Kanaan, your winner.
Tony Kanaan wins the Iowa Corn Indy 250 presented by Pioneer.
I love the sport. I love to be in shape. It helps me in the race car. I wake up every day trying to get my body in the best shape I can be.
Tony Kanaan has won the championship. TK has done it. He is the 2004 INDYCAR Series champion.
Here we go. Green flag waving. Tony Kanaan has the lead.
Tony Kanaan, the 12th time is the charm at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
What a finish as Tony Kanaan is your new champion.
Standing by with Tony Kanaan, the man you just watched win the Indy 500. They just played that video back. It never gets old, I know, right?
It's a good motivation for this race now. That was one of the best days of my life, for sure.
That was going to be my next question. Your motivation now for this second race?
Well, we had a little bit of a brake issue from the beginning. If you guys saw pulling me over on the first lap already, not to hit anyone. Looks like they fixed, so we're starting on the pole. So I have nobody to hit. This time, if something happens, then we'll see. We're having a blast. I mean, obviously, what a weekend, what a place. INDYCAR, Roger, and the entire Penske Entertainment Group and Fox, and this is awesome. I mean, I felt like I still love to be in the car. I have a much bigger job now, but having an opportunity to drive this track, even in these cars, is awesome. So, for once, I can say I'm racing with the legends that I watch growing up instead to be in that place. So, having a lot of fun.
I love it. All right, we love watching you out there too. Good luck. All right, TK. Alan.
All right, let's thanks. So we're about 7 minutes away from the command to start engines for IROC race number 2. Drivers beginning to get buckled aboard and getting all kitted up and ready to go. Bill Elliott, Kurt Busch. Have some fun with it. Now, we get to track the race within the race in the second go-round too, right? Because top average finish is going to be crowned the overall IROC winner of the streets of Washington, D.C. I have a feeling watching those two guys that are starting in the last row of this second race are going to be the ones to watch, though.
We'll throw Helio Castroneves in there as well. Found out that Tony Kanaan had a brake issue, so TK will now start on the pole. Finished dead last, so TK would have, or hopefully have, a better run. We'll find out if they got that car repaired. Buckling up the hood of the Purple People Eater. Those pins locked down, and Kurt Busch getting set to go. As you said, Alan, starting from the last row.
I think what I appreciate about this so much is just the energy and the camaraderie and the genuine joy you find from these people that we've watched race all for so long, right? All of them, and they've given us all so much enjoyment over the years as race fans. But to see how just genuinely happy they are to be here and to be doing this and to be taking part of this, it's really fun to see.
I think the joy they're experiencing exudes in each and every race fan as well. It's so great to see these legends of motorsport actually running with us here as part of the Freedom 250 Grand Prix weekend. And Helio Castroneves, always an abundance of enthusiasm, and Tony Kanaan, and Rusty Wallace, Bill Elliott, to see those great drivers, Jeff Gordon to win race number 1, but to see Jeff run his very first street course. Kurt Busch, always enthusiastic behind the wheel of a car. Tommy Kendall and Bobby Labonte, of course, fantastic to see Bobby racing as well. It has been a lot of fun and certainly have been a fantastic addition to this race this weekend with the INDYCAR series. Of course, IROC with us, part of the Freedom 250 Grand Prix weekend, getting set, gloves going on, and be a lot of fun to see who will be able to race their way from the back. Can Tony Kanaan hold them off from the front? We'll meet the starting lineup for race number 2 in just a few moments.
All right, looks like all the drivers are buckled in, and we are about 3-ish minutes from the command to start engines for IROC race number 2 of our Freedom 250 Grand Prix. So the 8 drivers again to go 10 laps and get their finishing position in the second race, and then average up and see who's the overall champion on the day. This present day of IROC. In 2024, NASCAR Hall of Famer Ray Evernham and the businessman Rob Kaufman acquired the rights to the IROC brand. It had been 20 years since there had been an IROC event, and they held one July 19th and 20th, 2024 at Lime Rock Park in Connecticut. Then a year ago, 2025, all 7 generations of IROC cars gathered at the Rolex Monterey Motorsports Reunion. That was last August 13th to 16th. And the inaugural Unser Family Cup IROC class was part of the world's premier vintage racing event for the first time, as it was again this year a week ago. And such a thrill to have it be a part of this historic event here in Washington, D.C., as we race on the streets of the nation's capital for the very first time.
There's Bud Denker, Ray Evernham working together in the NTT INDYCAR series. Bud made the call to Ray, asked if he was able to bring these 8 machines to the East Coast after running on the West Coast and join us for this historic event here on the streets of DC, all part of the Freedom 250 Grand Prix weekend. It was a tall task, but Ray able to answer the bell and bring all of these cars over to be able to be part of this fantastic weekend. So excited to not only see them race here in race number 1, but race 2 moments away. The International Race of Champions here on the streets of Washington, D.C.
Getting our pace car driver, Mark Royce, president of General Motors, buckled into the 1978 IROC Camaro. I mentioned earlier before that one man had been largely responsible and in charge of operating this International Race of Champions series over the decades. His name is Jay Signori. And so many people, including Ray Evernham, who worked for Jay, learned so much about the racing business, managing a racing operation, and also dealing with people as they dealt with all of these great drivers over the years. Well, Jay is here with us today, and it's really great to see him here and have him be a part of this. There he is. He's a good man. I've known him for many, many years. And Jay, it's a thrill and a pleasure to have you here with us, sir. We're really glad to have you. So Jay is going to be giving our command to start engines here momentarily down trackside as soon as we get the signal. And it'll be time to get this thing underway. Ladies and gentlemen, Jay Signori.
It's the Freedom 250. IROC drivers, start your engines.
Attaboy, Jay.
Well, these 8 international racing machines making their second appearance. Race number 2 about to get underway. The International Race of Champions. Jeff Gordon, winner of race number 1. Starting in the rear of the field. Engines have fired, getting set to turn them loose.
The car manager assigned to each of the entries by IROC, standing next to his entry. Hand in air signals the driver and car are ready to participate, so the pace car begins to roll. And we're ready for the second round of our IROC competition today. So the cars parked in the order that they finished that first race. So you'll see on this opening lap a reordering to get into the correct starting position for the second round of today's IROC competition. But these historic race cars that were raced by famous drivers now being raced here in this historic location by famous race drivers that we all know and love so well. What a scene. And how about the weather cooperating with us today? These beautiful blue skies shining down on us after the rainy start to the day. Folks in the stars and the stripe zones having a look as these drivers come past them and begin to get in the proper starting order for this second 10-lap race.
Well, look at all the fans getting
telling
ready
you.
to go. What a fantastic crowd. Thank you for joining us today and being part of this historic weekend here on the streets of D.C. So great to see each and every one of you lined up down every straightaway, every corner, any place there's an opportunity to see a racing car. You have come out in droves, and we thank you for being a part of this fantastic weekend as the field begins to make their way through the final turn and sort themselves out.
All right, so everybody's gotten themselves in the right place. And the first of our 3 pace laps are completed. So the guys that finished first in race number 1 start last in race number 2. So Jeff Gordon will come from the 8th starting spot at the back of the field. Jeff driving the silver Pontiac Firebird IROC car owned by Rick Hendrick, the one that Jeff drove to victory in 1998 at Daytona, and he's reunited with today. Starting 7th, Kurt Busch driving the purple 2003 IROC Firebird he owns after he was given it for winning the IROC championship in that car back in that 2003 season. Starting in 6th position, Helio Castroneves driving a 2005 IROC Firebird owned by Christopher Evans, a car that ran 7 races over 2 seasons, 2005 and 2006. Bill Elliott starting in 5th position, driving car number 9, the Red Machine, the car driven to victory by Mark Martin at Charlotte in 1997 and Dale Earnhardt at Talladega in 1998. Starting in 4th position, Rusty Wallace. He's in the backup car, the Stars and Stripes spare car that the IROC folks prepared and brought here just for this purpose. So Rusty's in the Stars and Stripes now. Starting 3rd, Bobby Labonte in that black with a red stripe 2001 IROC Firebird that Bobby won the 2001 IROC championship behind the wheel of. On the front row, Tommy Kendall driving the orange and white number 47 car, the 4-time Trans Am champion. Starting on the outside of the front row and on pole position is Tony Kanaan, the 2013 Indianapolis 500 winner, driving a white and blue IROC Firebird that was raced by drivers including Mark Martin, Matt Kenseth, Steve Kinzer, and more. So we're on the 1 to go lap now. We go racing next time by the start-finish line.
Yeah, I'll guarantee it didn't take Tony Kanaan very long to figure out where he was going to start race number 2. Excited to be on the pole. Talked about brake issues in that first race. That was a reason for a couple of his offs, so they feel they have that car repaired, and TK will be back in action, bringing the field of 8 down to get started for our International Race of Champions, race number 2.
Remember, these are all classic race cars. None of them are less old than 20 years. And they are as raced back in the day. So being put to the stresses of this modern race course today here on the streets of the nation's capital for a second time as they go for 20 laps in this one.
I think every driver...
10 laps, excuse me. A total of 20 laps today.
I think every driver has figured this course out. They talked about all the bumps, and you can see them as they make their way through the final couple of turns, getting set to start race number 2. Tony Kanaan, Tommy Kendall on the front row, getting set to turn the field loose. 10 laps of competition. Race number 2 for our International Race of Champion drivers and cars.
Here they come, eyes on the flag stand, and the green flag is out. Green flag, and we're racing again. IROC in the nation's capital. Tony Kanaan on the brakes for the right-hand turn number 1. Tommy Kendall hanging there with him. Now Kendall with the crossover as Kanaan leads him down Pennsylvania Avenue.
TK trying to check out, about a 4-car length advantage over Tommy Kendall. Bobby Labonte running in that 3rd position, but here comes Helio Castroneves. Castroneves looking to the inside, trying to take over that 3rd position from Tommy Kendall. So Helio Castroneves on the move.
Bobby Labonte there is going to get through first. He'll take over the 2nd spot. So Labonte in the black and red number 18 IROC Firebird goes to position number 2. Kendall holds off Castroneves for 3rd now as they head up 7th Street Northwest toward turn number 5.
Here comes the battle for that 3rd position. Helio Castroneves, driver's right inside, or I should say outside of Tommy Kendall. Kendall will have the position, but Helio Castroneves will have the advantage as they make their way down to turn number 4. Castroneves moves to the 3rd position.
And you're riding with Jeff Gordon, who's charging through from his 8th starting spot. Gordon up to 4th before we've even completed lap number 1. Off the final corner they come. Tony Kanaan is the leader at the start-finish line. It's Kanaan, then Labonte, Castroneves, and now Jeff Gordon in fourth.
Kurt Busch finally making a move, trying to get around Rusty Wallace. That's for that sixth position, so move Kurt up to that position. But Jeff Gordon, the big mover, starting from last, now finds himself in that fourth position.
He's in a hurry for sure. So here they come down Pennsylvania Avenue to turn number 2, the big braking zone with Labonte, Castroneves, and Gordon all bunched up tightly there for second, third, and fourth. Kanaan has moved away by about 5-7 car lengths as they make the right hand, turn number 4, the only right-hander on the course, and head back up toward turn number 5.
Bobby Labonte doing a great job in this second race. Fell back very early on that first lap in race number 1. Doing a great job holding off Elio Castroneves in that second position. Castroneves running third, has Jeff Gordon right behind him. Elio will look to the inside of Bobby Labonte, but tuck back in and slipstream his way through turn number 6. But for Tony Kanaan, the Brazilian 2013 Indy 500 champion, a 5-car length advantage with 8 laps to go.
Second place, Castroneves again with a peek inside of Labonte. Look at Castroneves' car wiggle as he mashes the brakes for turn number 1. So the top 4 move away from 5th place by a little bit. Here's Castroneves inside of Labonte. Big over the bumps in turn 1 and turn 2 in the braking zone, and it'll be Castroneves up to second.
We'll see if Jeff Gordon will follow suit. Jeff running in that 4th position, so move Castroneves up to that second position, trying to chase down longtime friend Tony Kanaan. Bobby Labonte still in that 3rd position. And there we ride along with Jeff Gordon, or should say further back in the field. No, that is Jeff Gordon.
Yep.
Riding along with Jeff in that 4th position. He'll take a peek to the inside of Bobby Labonte as they head down into turn number 5.
So that will be Gordon moving up to 3rd position after starting in 8th spot. So Gordon up to 3rd. As Castroneves pursues Kanaan into turn number 5. Not quite enough running room there. Turn number 6, rather. Here they come around 7. And come to complete the 3rd of our 10 laps.
2 of the finest in open wheel racing, holding off one of the greats in the NASCAR history. Jeff Gordon running 3rd. It's Kanaan leading. Elio Castroneves 2nd. Jeff Gordon 3rd as they make their way down Pennsylvania Avenue. And Jeff Gordon has a fast race car on the charge, closing in on that rear bumper of Elio Castroneves.
Yeah, Gordon is right there now. He's looking to make it a clean sweep of the day if he can. Castroneves with a little nip on the back bumper of Kanaan as he rolled through the center of the corner a little more quickly than his friend and rival. We've got a car in the runoff in turn 1. It was Rusty Wallace. He has continued, and we stay under the green flag, and turn 1 is clear.
Well, Elio Castroneves asked Christopher Evans if he could put a scratch on the car. Won't need to do so as Jeff Gordon makes a move in turn 5 for the 2nd position. So move Gordon around Elio Castroneves. Now the only driver left to pass for Jeff Gordon is the 2013 Indianapolis 500 champion, Tony Kanaan. Kanaan still about a 2-car length advantage.
Here they come through the final corner, off onto the straightaway across the start-finish line. It is Kanaan hanging on to the top spot, but now he's got that silver Pontiac IROC Firebird of Jeff Gordon right behind him as they hit Pennsylvania Avenue and accelerate up to over 150 miles an hour.
Oh, don't look now. Here comes the Purple People leader, Kurt Busch, in that 4th position, starting to close in on Jeff Gordon, but a potential pass for the lead. Jeff Gordon looks to the inside of Tony Kanaan. Elio Castroneves there in 3rd.
Well, Jeff better know that Kurt Busch has made his way through to 4th spot now, so he's in a hurry to catch up to these front few and be a part of the party at the head of the pack. Here they are now off turn 4. Kanaan, Gordon, Castroneves, and Kurt Busch.
Kurt Busch made contact with Elio Castroneves. He's there. Jeff Gordon looks to the inside of Tony Kanaan. Turn 5, the spot for Jeff Gordon. He will take over the lead.
So Jeff Gordon from the back to the front and erasing any question over what the average finish might mean at this point as far as the overall victory on the day. Castroneves and Kanaan still fighting for that 2nd spot now as Kurt Busch knows he needs to get through in a hurry.
Well, Castro Neves and his friend Tony Kanaan better make quick work of each other because Kurt Busch is on the charge. Here they come down Pennsylvania Avenue. Elio Castro Neves about a half car length disadvantage over Tony Kanaan. Takes a peek to the inside. This could be the move for Elio Castro Neves to get around TK. He'll do so into turn number 2.
And Kurt Busch will get through Kanaan over in turn number 3. So the new order as they head off turn 4 and up 7th Street Northwest will be Gordon, Castro Neves, Busch, Kanaan. Then Bobby Labonte running 5th, Tommy Kendall in 6th. Rusty Wallace after that spin has fallen back to 8th position. And Bill Elliott running in 7th at the moment.
There'll be 4 laps to go this time through, and for Jeff Gordon, a comfortable advantage over Elio Castro Neves. We'll call it 3 car lengths. Jeff right along that outside wall at the exit of turn number 7, setting up for turn number 1. Don't look now, Elio. Here comes Kurt Busch and the Purple People Eater. He's got it down to a 2 car length disadvantage. Busch trying to close in on Elio Castro Neves down Pennsylvania Avenue.
Yes, he is. Here they come over the bumps in the braking zone to turn number 2. Riding with Jeff Gordon here into the corner as they wind their way around the National Archives building. Turn 2, turn 3, turn 4. Oh, Castro Neves goes around. Doesn't hit anything. Does he get hit? Look out. Everybody got through.
Nice job by Tommy Kendall. Nearly got into Elio Castro Neves, but Elio overcooked it and will find himself dropping to the rear of the field. That will allow Kurt Busch to take over that 2nd position through turn 5, but Jeff Gordon with about an 8 car length advantage as we watch the replay.
Yeah, Elio gassed her up and did not have the grip to hold the surface. And here came the fun part. Whoa! I'll bet Ray Evernham saw some dollar signs there. So Elio Castro Neves still sitting at the exit of turn number 3, trying to back away.
Oh, look at Bobby Labonte. He got around Tony Kanaan.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah, there's a lot of fans enjoying all this action, all of the legends. And these fantastic IROC cars. Bobby Labonte around Tony Kanaan. Now Tommy Kendall trying to get around our pole sitter as well.
So Castro Neves has been able to get away from where he rested off of turn number 3, which is good. We're able to stay under the green flag. I think the phrase Elio probably uses to describe a situation like that. Doesn't he call it a code brown?
Yeah, that's exactly what he calls it.
That's what he calls it.
Oh, and Tommy Kendall nearly had a code brown as well.
Yeah.
He did a great job avoiding Castro Neves. This is a great battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Bobby Labonte, Tony Kanaan, Tommy Kendall, as Jeff Gordon has a comfortable advantage over Kurt Busch. Just 2 laps remaining. We'll see the white flag next time by.
Well, Jeff Gordon retired from full-time racing after the 2015 season. Spent a couple of years in the Fox broadcast booth. Now he's commentating for Fox from behind the wheel of this race car and having a pretty good day of it. Jeff now the vice chairman of Hendrick Motorsports and in charge of that vast racing operation on the NASCAR side with their drivers Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, and Alex Bowman, along with all the other pieces and parts that Mr. Hendrick has his fingers in through that Hendrick Motorsports operation.
Tony Kanaan, great pass over Bobby Labonte. He'll take back over that 3rd position as we watch 3rd, 4th, and 5th battle. As Jeff Gordon, once again, very comfortable advantage. There goes Elio through turn number 7. Tommy Kendall might steal away that 4th position before everything's said and done. And as Jeff Gordon exits turn number 7, he sees the white flag. Last lap for the International Racing Champions, race number 2.
Got a pretty good lead on Kurt Busch, does Jeff, and Kurt's got a pretty good gap on that whole fight for third that has been going on. So one more lap to go for Jeff Gordon as Tommy Kendall tries to swing it around Bobby Labonte in this race for fourth and fifth. Well, no matter the outcome, to see these drivers and these cars out on this race course again has been a special treat today for sure, for all of us. And I'm sure the drivers will have a lot of smiles when they climb out of the race cars to celebrate the end of their afternoon of competition. But man, what a thrill.
And a shout out to Bill Elliott and Rusty Wallace, 70 years of age, still sporting a pretty fast race car out there, doing a fantastic job.
All right, so here he comes to the final couple of corners. Braking zone for turn number 6 for Jeff Gordon. Kurt Busch is closed to within a few car lengths, but it's not going to nearly be enough. Checkered flag for Jeff Gordon. He sweeps the IROC event in the nation's capital, 2 for 2 on the day for the NASCAR Hall of Famer. Kurt Busch finishes second. Tony Kanaan will take the final podium spot in race number 2. And for Jeff Gordon, you could see the cheeks, you could see the smile inside the helmet from that camera shot as Jeff Gordon takes another victory today here on the streets of our nation's capital.
Bring out the broom. Jeff swept the weekend here in the International Race of Champions, waving to the race fans, saluting all of you great folks coming out and enjoying this back-to-back doubleheader with the International Race of Champions. Tommy Kendall saluting Jeff Gordon. And here's a replay of that pass for the lead. Did it down at turn number 5. That was the big corner for Jeff Gordon. Sets up Tony Kanaan at the entrance of that turn and able to sweep away Jeff Gordon. Back-to-back wins and the winner of our Freedom 250 Grand Prix weekend in the International Race of Champions.
Yeah, look at that. Yes, folks, he sees you. He hears you. Ah, he's going to burn him down.
Well, Mr. Hendrick will know for sure those rear tires are used up because Jeff doing a fantastic burnout, saluting you great race fans. Well done, Jeff.
Folks in the Monument Suites and the grandstand viewing area got a little bonus there at the end of that one. All right, our unofficial results. IROC race number 2 today here at the Freedom 250 Grand Prix. Jeff Gordon, winner again. Kurt Busch finishes second. 2 for 2 on the runner-up spots today for Kurt. Tony Kanaan with a podium in third. Bobby Labonte fourth. Tommy Kendall fifth. Bill Elliott, Rusty Wallace, Elio Castroneves round out our 8 legendary drivers competing in these legendary cars today before you on the streets of the DMV. How about it? You enjoy it? Very good. A victory podium coming up in just a minute. I think the folks in the Capitol Suites are going to get a show here too. I just thinking who would have thought a historic, valuable race car like that would light up and do the burnouts. But Jeff Gordon did it in this machine that Rick Hendrick owns. And Jeff wins again. And I think the grounds crew is going to have a little work to do overnight.
He left an indelible mark on the start-finish line for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, one more time. Oh yeah, oh, I don't stop the dancing. Oh yeah, stop the dancing. One more time. Yeah.
For sure. Time for some post-race coverage from IROC race number 2, and we go to DJ Clark.
Yeah, we're caught up with first and third place, and I've got to start off with first. Jeff, a clean sweep on the weekend. How does it feel?
It's amazing. I mean, I didn't think that I could come from the back, especially with Kurt, and with Tony on the front row, and with Kurt right there next to me with the inside lane. I thought he was going to get the advantage. I saw an opportunity in one, kind of took it. tried to take care of my stuff. Brakes are tricky at this place. You can really use the brakes up too much or wheel hop. I was wheel hopping a lot there at the end, so Kurt started catching me, but I knew I had to get a gap to him or he was gonna run me down. But what a blast. Such a blast racing with this guy. I mean, he and I have been buddies for a long time. Have we ever raced together?
Today.
Today.
And you beat me,
No,
so that's it.
Well, it's a pleasure to be out there with guys like him and the other sports car and IndyCar guys. Elio was fun. I don't know if there's oil on the track. I almost got in the wall and then I saw him spin behind me, so I thought maybe there was something on the track there, so it slowed us down a little bit. But I hated to see him spin because we were having fun.
And TK, I got to turn to you. Charge up through the field again. Your grin, always infectious. Describe what it's like to be running out here in these cars at Washington, D.C.
First of all, what an event. Ray and the IROC people, INDYCAR, Fox, Penske Entertainment. Look at this, look at the fans. I mean, look at this view. Obviously, a pleasure to be here. Pleasure to race with my heroes, I have to say. Only a few times in my career at this day and age that I can say I'm racing with older people than me. So, still getting beat by legends, but what a blast, man. I'm really lucky to be part of this. Motor racing is my life. It's been my life forever, and days like this, it's what it counts. So hopefully we put a good show to the fans. Next 2 days, IndyCar is going to be here, so glad that, I got a podium. I get to brag about to Zach. My boss is here, so in front of the boss is good.
You had the pressure like I had the pressure from
Maybe
my
we get
boss.
a chance, right?
All right, we got two guys that are going to be happy to their bosses. We're going to go over to AC. Thanks.
All right, thanks a lot. Here with Kurt Busch. Another second place for you this afternoon. Take us through that race there.
Whew, I had to be patient in the beginning, starting in the back, and Jeff and Elio, they just went. I'm like, here we go, and it's elbows out with these guys, but I cannot believe the crowd. I mean, not a seat looked empty to me, and that was at 11 a.m. when we were on track. So thank you for the vibe, the energy, and the excitement. I think people watching this on TV are going to be like, we missed out. We got to be there. And so just the environment, loved it.
Yeah, just your overall experience getting the opportunity to race here on the streets here in Washington, D.C.
It truly is a privilege, and thank you to all of the team members that put this on. Fire department, police, Department of Transportation. Sorry your streets were messed up here in D.C. for a while, but I hope we clean it up after we're gone.
Congratulations. Great job today, man.
All right, we have still to come our podium ceremony for our IROC competition today. We'll have that for you momentarily as we gather all of the people needed for it. And then, top of the hour, qualifications for the NTT IndyCar Series. Who's going to start on the pole for the first Freedom 250 Grand Prix? We'll find that out starting at 5 o'clock. We are looking at all of you out there looking like you're having a great time at the Freedom 250 Grand Prix today. Hello from inside the broadcast booth with Michael Young, Alan Bestwick. Thank you for joining us today, and the climax on the day is still to come.
Lots happening in the NTT IndyCar Series. Qualifying is next. We'll split the field in two, and then we will take the fastest 12. Should be the fast 6 from Group A, and then Group B. That will be the fast 12. Then we will move on to that second round of qualifying. We'll find out who the fast 6 cars are. They will vie for the pole for this tomorrow's Freedom 250 Grand Prix. It's an exciting way to qualify, and I think you fans are in for a real treat if you've never seen qualifying in the NTT IndyCar Series.
So lots more still to come. Hope you're hydrating. Maybe some sunscreen, looking after yourself out there today. We want your takeaway not to be a sunburn or a case of dehydration. Want you to have a good time. And, of course, make your plans early for tomorrow. If you're a ticket holder for tomorrow, make sure you know before you go what you can and can't bring in, the security lines, what gates to go to for what tickets you hold, all of that to make sure that tomorrow's festivities are all for you that they can be.
Big reminder, get here early. Our pre-race show is going to be fantastic, so you won't want to miss any of the fantastic things that we have in store for you tomorrow. Pre-race festivities beginning just about after 11 o'clock.
All right, first though, it's time for our podium celebration for the IROC race. Here's Lindsay Zarniak.
IROC Awards presentation, our trophy presentation. And to present the award for the first Race 1 winners, we present Chuck Colson, Market Area Vice President of Hendrick Automotive Group. Your podium winners for race number 1, Elio Castroneves, Kurt Busch, and first place, Jeff Gordon. One more round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. And each winner, each podium member will receive a medallion as well as a trophy. All right, y'all, we're right down here for first photo. Right here. All right, let's go Chevrolet, please. The familiar hat dance. Just like old times, guys. Woo-woo! All right, guys. Time now to present our race 2 winners in this ARCA race. Mark Royce, president of GM, will be presenting the trophies and the medallions to our finishers. In third place, Tony Kanaan. Second place, once again, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kurt Busch. And your first place finisher, once again, Jeff Gordon. Sir Bud Danker, president of Penske Corporation. Ladies and gentlemen, our overall champion. It's just like the 90s, Jeff Gordon. Besides the trophy, Jeff will get a special Custos watch as a celebratory gift of his overall IROC championship. Congratulations, everybody, Jeff Gordon. We're talking. Is it enough to bring you out of retirement, Jeff Gordon?
All right, Lindsay, thank you, and congratulations, and big thanks to IROC for bringing the show and all those wonderful superstar drivers here to the nation's capital for this weekend. So up next, top of the hour, qualifying for the NTT INDYCAR Series. Who's going to win the pole for the Freedom 250 Grand Prix? Not only the prestige that's going to go with that, because it might be the one and only, but it's going to be really important for tomorrow's race.
Lot of, or I should say a lack of opportunity to passing, so that starting position will be premium. There's one of the cars that have been quick thus far, Kyle Kirkwood. Second quick overall in our second practice session, and quick in our opening practice session. Will Power, part of that Andretti Global stable. How will he do after starting dead last weekend? Was able to come home third in Markham, Ontario. Lots to be figured out as we get set to go qualifying. Again, we'll split the field into two groups. Group 1 will go out. The Fast 6 out of that will make their way to the Fast 12. And out of the Fast 6 of the Group 2, they will move to the Fast 12. Those 12 will vie for the Firestone Fast 6, and then we'll send them out one at a time to find out who is quickest. And we'll take the pole for tomorrow's Freedom 250, presented, or the Grand Prix, here on the streets of Washington, D.C.
Chevy is called the heartbeat of America for a reason. With trucks that go the distance, EVs that expand your horizons, listen to that heartbeat, SUVs to bring out your best and bring everyone along. Value where it counts, and the freedom to chase a dream. That's the day Chevrolet.
America. 250 years of independence. Since 1916, Boeing has lifted our nation to the skies. The first takeoff into space and into the future. Over 100 years of an American workforce in motion. America and Boeing. Together, we make history. After 250 years, our mission continues. Boeing backs America.
Freedom lives in the little moments, in new beginnings, in the ways we gather safely. This freedom is carried forward. It's a right, 2.5 centuries in the making. The right to celebrate, the duty to stay alert. If you see something, say something. Report suspicious behavior to local authorities.
For the past 50 years, Metro has connected people to moments that matter. From the Great American State Fair to local celebrations. This summer, those moments are everywhere. 50 years of exploring, commemorating, and learning from the past to inspire the future. The trains have changed, the connections haven't. Keep connecting to the moments that matter with Metro.
These days, you've got two choices: buying a new car or making the one you've got run like new. We know which one we'd choose. That's why at Firestone Complete Auto Care, we have thousands of ASC certified technicians nationwide trained to spot an issue with your vehicle before it becomes a problem. Get more out of your car. Firestone Complete Auto Care.
What a scene, what a setting. As we get ready for NTT IndyCar Series qualifying today here at the Freedom 250 Grand Prix. Cars are all lined up on the pit lane. The drivers beginning to get ready to climb aboard their machines. Anthony Calhoun standing by with one of the favorites.
Yeah, here with the number 26 machine, our guy here, Will Power. Great to see you as always, man. Washington, D.C., racing on the streets. How sweet is that?
It's incredible, man. When I look in my mirror and you see the Capitol back there, it's crazy. I just can't believe it. Yeah. I can't thank Roger Penske, Bud Dankert, the whole group. It's done a phenomenal job. Track's crazy, so textbook IndyCar.
Yeah, I want to ask you about that. As you get ready to qualify moments from now, what did you learn from those practice sessions?
I mean, we've slowly dialed the car in. Obviously, quite a bumpy track, so definitely do a lot of damper work. And just finding those little details. As you can see on the times, it's always incredibly tight, so every little bit's going to matter.
Yeah, and as far as mentioning how tight it's going to be, how challenging has it been out there on this street right now?
It is quite challenging. It's quite challenging to understand where to brake to not get one of the big bumps during your brake zone that upsets the car. So, a lot of things to get right. You can't just drive straight down the straight. You got to kind of find the smoothest way.
Yeah, and his final question, is it still hard to believe? How much are you in awe of just knowing you're literally racing here in the nation's capital for a big race tomorrow?
It's, man, I've been looking forward to this one. I just think it's just incredible we're doing it. Obviously, you get in the zone and you kind of forget where you are, actually, once you, get into the flow of the day. But, yeah, it is pretty special.
All right, good luck today. Will Power, of course, trying to be on the pole for tomorrow's race.
I wouldn't put it out of chance. Will, one of the fastest drivers, of course, the all-time leading pole winner in NTT IndyCar Series competition.